guys, Joe here. Hope you're all doing well. Something a little bit different today I'm going to present to you. It's one of Tom Montalk's articles, and I'm going to read the whole thing to you. I will post it in the description box below. So if you want to read it, you can go off and read it. If you want to listen to me, you can listen to me, or you can do both. It's actually a really good way to learn, is to listen to something while you're reading something. And if I've got the book, I'll try and find the audio book to go alongside it so I can do the both. I don't do it all the time, but I try and incorporate that into my learning regime, for want of a better word. But he's having a conversation with ChatGPT, which is an AI tool, to gain answers about alien probabilities and their interaction and how they control humanity. And it's fascinating. I will also link underneath Jason from Archaics. He did a conversation with ChatGPT as well. And from memory, I think he was asking about the Phoenix and the cataclysms and our history. And again, ChatGPT was just giving their answer. I know there's a few people in the Archaics group that I'm in that have experimented or played around with ChatGPT. And depending on how you phrase the question is all dependent on what answer you get back. So there is a way to manipulate the technology. I myself don't want to go there, because I myself don't want to engage as little as possible, because I recognize I'm engaging with technology right now. But AI technology, I don't have Siri, I don't have Alexa, I don't need a machine giving me answers. Or maybe we've already got machines giving our answers in the ether. Who knows? That's what I'm on the mission to learn more and more about, because I am definitely learning that this realm isn't as we think it is. And it's definitely run by alien technology. I say definitely, I can't say for definite, but I have a strong intuitive sense, and I have had for some time, that this realm is run by AI or alien technology. So here goes. So it's going to be a long one. Stick with me, because if you stick with me, I think you will find it as fascinating as I find it. So he starts off, let's analyse the implications of a hypothetical alien extraterrestrial invasion and threat scenario. Consider the following capabilities and limitations of the aliens. They are telepathic and can read human thoughts and emotions. They can also telepathically influence human thoughts and emotions in mild ways. Their telepathy has limitations. Through psychic training or technological means, it's possible for humans to block their minds being read or influenced, but the vast majority of the population lacks these means and can therefore be telepathically surveilled and subtly influenced by the aliens. The aliens have phasing technology, which allows them to move about invisibly in the skies and even stand next to humans in their own homes whilst invisible. The phasing technology has limitations. There may be subtle electromagnetic emissions at times, perhaps in the infrared or ultraviolet spectrum, that allows them to be detected. There may be other esoteric technological ways of detecting them. Assume humans with trained psychic powers can detect them even if they are optically invisible. Now when I read that, I actually think of orbs. Think of orbs when I think about that. Read that rather. They have precognition capability. They can see probable futures, both for humanity as a whole and for specific individuals, in terms of the way what they might do next. The more probable a particular future, the more easily they can precognitively see it. But if a person chooses to do something improbable, the aliens cannot easily see that. And that's really interesting, because Jason is always talking about breaking pattern. You know, we are creatures of habit. We do the same things day in, day out. So he's always talking about, if you want to feel AIX, which I believe is a demiurge, do things that you wouldn't normally do in your day to day. Go a different route. Get up in the morning, do something completely different. Just break pattern. and therefore AIX can't predict what you're going to do next, which is what Tom is referring to here. The aliens are able to manufacture human bodies that can be remotely controlled through a psychic interface like avatars, and these can walk among us in society. Some can even take up position in military, government, law enforcement and other institutions in order to surreptitiously carry out the aliens' agendas. And that's really interesting, that comment, because over these last 3 years, there are many of us that have seen what's been going on in the world and things that are being injected into people, and wondering how why other people can't see it, and there are people in law enforcement, in military, in government that are just going along with it all and not thinking about it from a humane perspective. And I just want to add there as well, when my mum went into hospice, the doctor said to her very coldly, and I was really surprised, if my mum hadn't been frightened, I would have said something. She said to my mum, "You know you're going to die, don't you?" And I just thought it was a really inhumane thing to say. And again, that's spell casting. And also, when my mum was in hospice, she basically passed away within a week of being in hospice, and she deteriorated very, very quickly. And I said to the doctor, "What are you giving her? She deteriorated so quickly." And she gave me this wry, cold smile. So, and I couldn't, I mean, at the time, I didn't connect any dots because I didn't know what I know now. But it was very cold and quite inhumane. And again, what I'm reading here now kind of makes sense. So these aliens have been abducting certain humans without them knowing it, and using mind control to implanting them hypnotic commands. These commands influence such abductees to say things about the alien presence in order to manipulate the opinions of the public to be more receptive to the alien presence. And I just want to touch on there as well. It's something that I've been thinking for quite some time when I'm watching certain YouTube channels and questioning the information that they're putting out. How do we know they've not been brainwashed, they've not been MK Ultra'd? And I started to question this thing with a guy called Tom, he talks about Nibiru, and he claims to have been abducted. And I'd read his posts on Facebook, and I started to think, he's that convinced that he was abducted, and he was abducted to this planet Nibiru. And I started to think to myself, he's convinced that happened to him. How do we know that memory hasn't been implanted into his mind? And we could actually put that theory to everyone that we listen to. And again, it comes down to who do we know, what do we know, what's right or what's wrong. Even our memories, how do we know that they're not implants? But anyway, this is going to be a long video, I think, if I keep interrupting myself. The aliens have kept their presence hidden from the general public up to now, but are planning on revealing themselves to humanity at large in the near future. And again, that kind of, everything's been revealed at such a speed right now that we're just being thrown loads of information and loads of reveals, and that explains that they've kept their presence hidden and they're starting to reveal. And is that because it's the collapse of society or collapse of this simulation or simulacrum? They have been manipulating government, media and abductees to influence human culture to be more amenable to acquiescing to alien demands when they reveal themselves to the public. They've used media for that. To ensure compliance, the aliens won't reveal themselves until a series of natural and artificial disasters has struck humanity. Hello, the Phoenix, including war, famine, disease, and collapse of public infrastructure. Then, when humans are desperate for help, aliens will show up offering assistance, but at the cost of submission to alien control. And again, if you've listened to Jason's work, that's potentially what happened in 1902. There was a cataclysm, and then all of a sudden, 1902, this whole new civilization blossomed and they had all these technologies, and these aliens came with agriculture and technology, and basically we grew civilization after a Phoenix event. It's all just starting to add up. And again, it's all theory, guys. You know, none of us know. We can only just theorize on these things. These aliens have technology that is beyond current human technology, but is based on radical applications of quantum and relativistic principles such as engineering the space-time metric and energy momentum stress sensor. These aliens are fearful of another, more neutral alien group that enforces intergalactic laws. One of these laws, I deem that maybe that's what Jason talks about, the oversoul, and we have a benefactor. And the reason why Jason believes that we have a benefactor, because the reality is they could really, they could control us to a much more forceful extent as to what they are doing right now. So these aliens are fearful of another, more neutral alien group that enforces intergalactic laws. One of these laws states that a planet cannot be conquered without the permission and willingness of its inhabitants. Therefore, the hostile aliens must use deception and coercion and political manipulation to get humanity to bend it to its will. Really interesting. And that does actually come from occult law as well, and natural law. They've got to have the permission and willingness, and that's where your TV and your entertainment comes in, because our silence is acquiescence. We are giving them permission to they're telling us, and our silence is saying, yep, everything's okay, just go ahead and do whatever you want to do. The aliens are limited in number, less than 500,000 individual aliens. Therefore, they must manipulate humans into controlling and enslaving other humans, as the aliens lack the manpower to do it all themselves. The aliens have made secret deals with rogue human elements within various first world nuclear-armed nations. Both the aliens and powerful rogue human elements are working together to abduct and program certain people to mind control them to serve their agenda. Because these hostile groups have kept their activities mostly hidden, most of the general public doesn't know they exist and is not easily convinced of their existence, since evidence of the alien presence and agenda is hard to gather and present in a convincing way. The aliens have used their abduction program to harvest genetic material from human abductees, which they have crossed with their own alien genetics to create 100,000 human-alien hybrids. These hybrids look human, but have alien-like minds. The aliens want to eventually introduce these to Earth to act as an elite class of liaisons between humanity and the alien empire. These hybrids are also telepathic, but not as telepathic as the aliens themselves. It is intended that they become the overseer leaders of humanity to serve the alien agenda. Now, given the above hypothetical scenario of a cunning alien threat, discuss hypothetical ways this threat can be detected and defeated. And here we have ChatGPT. I actually found that quite hard to roll off the tongue. ChatGPT. Okay, the scenario you presented poses a significant challenge to humanity, as the aliens have formidable capabilities, both in terms of their technology and their telepathic and precognitive abilities. However, there are still some hypothetical ways that humanity could potentially detect and defeat this threat. Here are a few possibilities. 1. Developing psychic training in technological means to block telepathic intrusion and influence. As you mentioned, a minority of people already possess psychic abilities or have access to technology that can protect them from the aliens' telepathy. Humanity could invest in researching and developing these technologies further, allowing more people to defend themselves against the aliens' mental intrusions. And I truly believe, I can't find it, I truly believe this is why technology like this has been invented. Now, I don't know if anybody's listened to the video that I did regarding the phone and telepathic capabilities and how they have taken our potentiality for telepathic skills and put them in technology. So I believe what chat, I'm just going to call it chat says there, humanity could invest in researching and developing these technologies further, allowing more people to defend themselves against the aliens' mental intrusions. That is one such tool that is being used against us. 2. Developing specialized detection technology. While the aliens facing technology is invisible to the naked eye, it's possible that specialized detection technology could be developed to detect subtle electromagnetic emissions or other esoteric technology and means of detection. It may also be possible to develop technology that can detect the hybrids, who may have some biological markers that distinguish them from pure humans. 3. Developing countermeasures against mind control. Humanity could invest in research into countering the aliens' mind control techniques, including hypnosis and implanting commands. This could involve developing counter-hypnotic techniques or finding ways to disrupt the psychic link between the aliens and their remote-controlled human avatars. 4. Building alliances with neutral aliens or other intergalactic organizations. While the hostile aliens may be afraid of other intergalactic organizations that enforce laws against planetary conquest, there may be neutral aliens or organizations that humanity could ally with to oppose the hostile group. These allies may be able to offer technological or strategic support that could help humanity to resist the aliens' influence. 5. Educating the public and building awareness. Finally, one of the biggest challenges in this scenario is a lack of widespread awareness about the alien threat. Most effective ways to counter this would be to educate the public about the aliens' capabilities and their agenda, and to build awareness of the signs of their presence. This could involve using media outlets, social media, and other forms of communication to disseminate information about the threat, as well as encouraging people to share their experiences and any evidence they have on the aliens' presence. By building awareness and mobilizing public opinion, humanity may be able to resist the aliens' attempts at manipulation and domination. Well, if we talk to the majority of people about aliens, they're just going to try and lock us up, aren't they? Let's face it. So, Tom asks, let's assume humanity fails to detect or defeat this threat. Discuss various hypothetical worst-case scenario outcomes, both near-term and long-term for humanity. Chat. If humanity fails to detect or defeat the alien threat, the worst-case scenarios could be catastrophic, both in the near-term and long-term. Here are some hypothetical outcomes. 1. Near-term enslavement. The aliens could successfully use their mind control and precognition abilities to take over the world and enslave humanity in the near term. This could happen after the series of disasters they plan to orchestrate to make humans desperate for help and more receptive to their offers of assistance. 2. Hybridization. The aliens could introduce the 100,000 human-alien hybrids as a new ruling elite class of liaisons between humanity and the alien empire. These hybrids could gradually take over key positions of power, influence, and control within human societies, and eventually become the overseers of humanity. This could lead to complete subjugation and humanity to the alien agenda. Now, you could actually call those in, so politicians, pop artists, actors, people that people look up to, you could actually class them as human alien hybrids, because they have taken over key positions of power and they have mega influence over human mind. And just to state how easy it is to actually influence the human mind, I've only recently come across the term hive mind. It's probably a term that's been around for many, many years, but I've only recently come across it. And it was after somebody sent me a video about how they are creating this hive mind, and the likeness of the hive mind mentality and behavior of humans, and the likeness of that to insects, and how this new creation of humanity is becoming more insect-like. That's a whole other discussion in itself. But I've seen it twice now. A couple of comments by either one individual or separate individuals addressing, starting off their comment with "hi hive mind," without any notion, any realization of what that actually means. The hive mind is basically everybody's thinking like one another, which is really dangerous. But anyway, again, I digress. So back to Chat's conversation, Tom and Chat's conversation. 3, resource exploitation. The aliens could use Earth as a resource base, exploiting its minerals, water, and other valuable resources for their own use. This could lead to the depletion of natural resources, environmental destruction, and ecological collapse. Well, that's kind of playing out now. 4, cultural erosion. Again, this is playing out now. The aliens could use their mind control and technological influence to manipulate human culture and values to be more amenable to their demands. This could lead to the erosion of human autonomy, identity, and culture. Hello? It's definitely playing out now. As well as the suppression of human creativity and expression. Yep. Genetic experimentation. The aliens could use their technology and genetic knowledge to experiment on human populations, creating new hybrids, beings, or manipulating human genetics to suit their own agenda. This could lead to genetic manipulation, mutation, and even extinction of certain human populations. 6, interstellar warfare. The hostile aliens could be part of a larger interstellar empire that seeks to expand its territory and control over other planets and civilizations. This could lead to interstellar warfare, with humans being used as pawns or soldiers in these conflicts, leading to massive destruction and loss of life. 7, ecological collapse. The aliens' exploitation of Earth's resources and manipulation of human culture could lead to ecological collapse, with mass extinction of planet and animal species, loss of biodiversity, and climate change. You know, I've mentioned the loss of biodiversity before. We only have to look around where I live. The fields are dead. The fields are basically ryegrass. And as we speak, the farmers have been given grants to basically cut down the shrubs and the bushes that are already in existence, which are probably housing thousands of ecologically beneficial insects already and wildlife, to plant new trees. It's going on as we speak in this area right now. Just the field over there, they've taken all the hedges out and they're planting these trees. I don't know what kind of trees they're planting, but there's definitely things changing which we can witness on a it's been going on for years, but I think there's a hyper awareness that's coming out with certain individuals of what's being exploited and presented right now. Overall, the worst case scenario for humanity would be the complete subjugation and enslavement to an alien empire that exploits and manipulates Earth and its inhabitants for its own purposes. This could lead to the loss of human autonomy, identity, and culture, as well as ecological and genetic devastation, interstellar conflict, and even extinction. Tom suggests keep going. So, chat 18. Humanity is divided and conquered by the aliens, with a small group of human elites working closely with the aliens to maintain control over the rest of humanity. Those who refuse to comply with the aliens are punished or eliminated. 19. The aliens exploit Earth's resources and people for their own purposes, leaving the planet and its inhabitants impoverished and exploited. 20. The telepathic abilities of the aliens and their hybrids allow them to monitor and control human thoughts and actions, making it impossible for humans to organize and resist effectively. 21. The aliens introduce new technologies and cultural practices that further enslave humanity and disrupt traditional ways of life. 22. The alien presence on Earth leads to the breakdown of social and cultural norms, causing widespread chaos and instability. 23. The aliens may use humans for experimentation or other purposes, leading to the suffering and exploitation of individuals. 24. The aliens may use their advanced technology to alter the environment or atmosphere of Earth. Hello? White lines in sky, leading to ecological catastrophe. 25. The long-term effects of the alien presence on human evolution and cultural development are unknown and could be disastrous, as the aliens may attempt to shape humans to fit their own needs and desires. Overall, the worst-case scenario for humanity would be one in which we are completely subjugated and controlled by an alien race, leading to the loss of our autonomy, culture, and freedom. It is therefore imperative that we work to detect and defeat any potential alien threats in order to ensure the survival and prosperity of humanity. Now, what's more interesting about this is ChatGPT is probably alien technology. So, is this ChatGPT that's given us the answers here? Is it a benefactor alien technology? Discuss the various. So this is Tom. Discuss the various cunning means these hypothetical aliens could employ to manipulate public opinion about the alien presence, including via media, social media, the field of ufology, and political activism aimed at bringing about disclosure of the existence of aliens. Chat. Given the capabilities of these hypothetical aliens, there are a number of ways they could manipulate public opinion about their presence on Earth. Here are a few possible scenarios. 1. They could use their telepathic and mind control abilities to influence key people in media and in government to promote their agenda. This could involve providing false information about their motives or suppressing information that could be damaging to their image. 2. They could create fake social media accounts and use bots to amplify positive messages about their presence while suppressing or attacking negative messages. 3. They could plant false stories and evidence to create confusion and discredit real evidence in their presence. For example, they could create fake UFO sightings on crop circles, or even stage false flag attacks to blame on other nations or groups. Wow, this is happening right now, and it goes back to what I've said in previous videos. We can't say categorically what's real and what isn't when we're looking at the internet. We just can't. They could infiltrate the ufology community and use their psychic ability to manipulate key figures and organizations to promote their agenda. This could involve creating fake sightings or contacts, or promoting disinformation about other alien species to distract from their own presence. They could use their mind control abilities to create false memories and beliefs in abductees. I mentioned that earlier. To make them believe they have had positive experiences with the aliens to promote their presence in a positive light. 6. They could promote political activism aimed at bringing about disclosure of the existence of aliens in order to control the narrative and prevent negative information from being released. Overall, the aliens could use a combination of these tactics to manipulate public opinion and maintain control over humanity. And Tom suggests keep going, but I'm going to go on to the next question. Make a list of the top signs one could see in the news that would indicate such hypothetical aliens are ready to disclose themselves to the world and enact their agenda. Chat. Here are some signs that could indicate the hypothetical aliens are ready to disclose themselves to the world. And we're seeing this right now. Increased reports of UFO sightings or encounters that cannot easily be explained. And what's interesting about that is we are seeing more reports in the news about UFO sightings, and a lot of the truth community or perception community are stating that this is disclosure. It's going to be a release of Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam is basically it's technology which holographic technology, so they could present to us an alien invasion, whereas actually it's just holographic, it's not real. But then we're on the mindset of this realm being holographic and not real. So my god, it is all mind-bending, and I find all of this, the more I learn, the more I delve, the deeper I go, it's just fascinating. It really is. So increased reports of UFO sightings or encounters that cannot easily be explained. 2. Mysterious and unexplained disruptions of global communications and infrastructure. Jason's talking about that now, about the False Carrington event, and potentially September we have a disruption of global communications and our infrastructure. Interesting. I would love for Tom and Jason to do a talk, because there really is a lot of crossover with their work. 3. A sudden increase in media coverage of UFOs and extraterrestrial life, with an emphasis on positive and benevolent portrayals. 4. Rumours or leaks from government insiders about secret meetings or agreements with alien entities. 5. The sudden appearance of experts or spokespersons advocating for disclosure of the alien presence and promoting narratives that downplay any potential negative consequences. 6. An increase in mysterious abductions or disappearances of people with no clear explanation, particularly those with skills or knowledge that could be useful to the aliens. 7. Mysterious and unexplained deaths or accidents of prominent individuals who oppose the alien agenda or are critical of the disclosure narrative. 8. A sudden global crisis or disaster that creates widespread panic and chaos, providing the aliens with an opportunity to offer assistance and present themselves as saviours. 9. The appearance of a charismatic leader or figurehead who claims to have had personal contact or communication with the aliens, and who advocates for humanity's submission to their will. 10. The gradual introduction of hybrid beings or other forms of alien presence into human society, accompanied by a propaganda campaign aimed at normalising their presence and encouraging cooperation with them. And as I read all of this, and as I think about the journey that I'm being taken on, the disclosure of certain things, and what I've come to understand about what is allowed into human consciousness, I then start to ask, why is this all of a sudden coming into human consciousness, or the human subconscious? Maybe. Are we truly coming to disclosure? Is this a form of us manifesting all of this? So deep, so deep. You know, we know how the occult magic works with things getting into the human consciousness and how we begin to manifest things. And as I'm reading this, I am recognizing a pattern with my own journey, and other like-minded people who are also on this journey. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there, guys, because I think I've rambled on long enough. I might do a part 2 of this. If you're still here, thank you for listening. There is a lot more to this. It's a really, really long document, and like I said, I'm going to link it below. It's just all, it is all mind-bending for me, and it is really fascinating. And then I just start to. Mark Passio says we must have an equal balance of skepticism and trust. And at the moment, I'm kind of on the I've got a heavier pull towards the skepticism, because of what I understand, the little bits I understand about occult knowledge and the magic. You know, why all of a sudden is this all coming into my consciousness? I, am I being led down this? Am I creating my own reality tunnel here, which is leading me down the alien and the disclosure of alien? Is it an implant? Am I being implanted with these thoughts and these reality tunnels, or am I creating them for myself? Those are all things, and this is why I keep going deeper and deeper down the rabbit hole, because I'm trying to get to the bottom of even, you could say even Jason, you could say even Tom. You know, how can we categorically know that they haven't? How do we know they're creating their own reality tunnels and they're not implants for the alien agenda? Interesting. I shall speak to you all soon. See you later, guys. Bye.